Entering this season, the Brooklyn Nets win total was set at just 19.5, tied with the Washington Wizards for the lowest in the entire league. After trading Mikal Bridges to the crosstown rival Knicks this offseason and getting their own pick back from Houston for this year, almost everyone assumed it was going to be a full-on tank for Cooper Flagg. After having the 23rd ranked offense last season and trading someone who many assumed to be their best player, who can blame the doubters? But as of today, the Brooklyn Nets are the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference and are fully in the playoff picture. At 7-10, you may say, hey Herm, they're not anything special. But a win over the Kings last night, and their continual close matchups with teams like the Celtics, Cavs, Knicks, and Nuggets, I can tell you that this is not a team that looks like a tanker. Cam Thomas looks like a star in year 4, averaging 25 points and 4 assists, while shooting career best 46% from the field and 39% from 3. We even saw the unleashing of Point Cam with Dennis Schroder out in their win over Sacramento last night, finishing with 34 points and 6 assists to just 1 turnover, going head-to-head with De'Aaron Fox in the process. Cam Johnson has looked like the better wing between he and Bridges, and the 6 picks they got back for Mikal while keeping Johnson looks smarter and smarter by the day. He has leveled up his shot creation at 28 years old, and over his last 4 games is averaging 28 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists while shooting 56% from the field and 54% from deep. He's peaking at a level higher than most expected possible from him. Dennis Schroder has been a steady positive presence as well, putting up 17 points and 7 assists a night while shooting 41% from deep. This team is full of talent and overachievers, and they're going to put up a fight every night, likely often winning games you wouldn't expect. The 2 Cams are going to make sure of that. Now it's still possible that the team offloads veteran talent before the deadline and shifts more towards the bottom, but right now the attempt at tanking is a failure. The Brooklyn Nets weren't supposed to be this good. Now let's take a deeper look. Before we get into the Nets' surprising start to the season, if you enjoy my content and watch a few videos of mine, think about subscribing. 96% of my viewers are actually not subscribed, so if you watched me before and enjoy the content, drop a sub and comment down below. It really helps the channel. When asked if he'd circled this game on his calendar, Coach Jordy Fernandez replied, "Not necessarily. I'm not out there playing, so obviously it means a lot to me, but as a group, we just have to be ready to face the next opponent." Whether or not the 41-year-old was downplaying his emotions about returning to Golden One Center, one thing was clear early. He had his team more than prepared to face their next challenge. The Brooklyn Nets showcased their offensive prowess in the first half, shooting an impressive 13 of 20 from beyond the arc. It was a testament to their sharp execution and Sacramento's lackluster defensive resistance. Drive, kick, shoot, then repeat, and repeat again. Cam Thomas led the charge with 22 first-half points, exploiting closeouts and rescuing the offense in the rare moments that it stumbled. But more often, Fernandez's offensive philosophy came to life, with Brooklyn attacking the paint and consistently finding open shooters who couldn't miss. Despite dealing with injuries and player assignments, Brooklyn's head coach utilized a deep rotation, going 10 deep in the first half. A bench unit featuring Jalen Wilson, Keon Johnson, and Shake Milton didn't just hold their own, but dominated, particularly as they closed out the first quarter. Despite Brooklyn's offensive contributions from all 10 players, their halftime lead was a modest 8 points. De'Aaron Fox was unstoppable, hardly a surprise these days. And though he was the only king in double figures at the break, Sacramento collectively shot a strong 8 of 14 from beyond the arc to stay within striking distance. As expected, Brooklyn did cool off from their blistering 3-point pace, and the game turned into a tightly contested battle for the full 48 minutes. Tensions rose. Mike Brown picked up a technical foul, and Domantas Sabonis showed visible frustration after several possessions without touching the ball, and the Nets briefly lost their lead in the second half. Still, Brooklyn didn't waver. Down 94-90 with just under 10 minutes to play, the Nets found another gear, rattling off 9 straight points to retake control for good. Sabonis, despite his physicality and flying elbows, couldn't break through Brooklyn's defense. DeMar DeRozan managed 18 points but shot just 7 of 18 from the field and failed to draw defenders with his signature pump fakes. Fox cooled off in the second half, scoring only 7 points, while Keegan Murray stopped finding open looks in the corner. The result? A mere 15 points for Sacramento in the fourth quarter, sealing their fate. Cam Thomas carried the Nets to victory. He poured in 34 points while erasing the memory of his 7-turnover game in Philly, finishing with 6 assists and just 1 turnover. It wasn't all on Thomas's shoulders. Shake Milton and Jalen Wilson earned their spots in the closing lineup, and Ben Simmons made a strong impact to start the fourth quarter. But when it mattered most, Brooklyn trusted Thomas with the ball. The rest took care of itself. Fernandez didn't hold back in praising his leading scorer and playmaker. What stood out the most was the 6 assists to 1 turnover. That's the Cam Thomas we want. We know he can score a lot, and he did that today, but he also did everything else. He pressured the ball on defense, created plays for his teammates, and scored efficiently. Thomas didn't just embody the ideal Jordy ball experience. The entire team did. There was no hesitation from beyond the arc, but every shot was a smart one. Yes, they knocked down a ton of threes, but even when the shots started rimming out, Brooklyn shifted gears, turning up their defensive intensity to the highest level of the night. In the end, the Nets walked into Sacramento, not just outplaying the Kings, but outworking them with greater composure and heart. Then they hit the road down I-80 to San Francisco. Just another night on the job. The Brooklyn Nets weren't supposed to be this good. They weren't supposed to have this level of fight, composure, and resilience. Not after an offseason filled with trades and the lowest expectations in the league. But here they are, proving the doubters wrong night after night. With Cam Thomas emerging as a star and the entire roster buying into a balanced, relentless style of play, the Nets have shown they're no easy out. Whether they stick with this scrappy playoff push or pivot toward rebuilding later in the season, one thing is undeniable. This team is far better than anyone predicted, and they're rewriting their narrative one game at a time. Thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.